What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got a collection of gaming news stories to talk about. It seems like it's that time of the year, isn't it, where you can't just make a video on one news story. You got to try to get a bunch because I don't want to leave anything behind. These are all, in their own way, kind of important. So, I believe I got 3 for you for today's video, and let's get into it. Okay, the first of which, a little bit more serious, I would say. We have, like, the final fallout to the Helldivers 2 drama, and this is just something I kind of wanted to take a few minutes to talk about. It seems like the community manager, like the head of it, right, who's the same person that, talked to people and said, hey, review bomb, like, this is a way that we can take this ammunition to Sony and help us win. It seemed like this person's job was kind of up in the air for the last couple of weeks. I believe they wrote on Discord a little while ago that they actually were safe. It was close, like they might have gotten really close to being fired, but they actually weren't. It seems like as of yesterday, they were officially fired. So just coming from PlayStation Universe here, popular Helldivers 2 community manager appears to have jumped ship following PSN backlash. And this article itself discusses kind of more like maybe this individual left, like they weren't fired. Again, it really seems like they actually were fired. He wrote, today is a dark day on the Discord on May 7th. And then people noticed later that the account was removed. I think people actually asked, who's going to do high command dispatches? To which Spitz replied, not me. I've seen other articles as well that go into slightly more detail. And it definitely seems like this person was fired. Okay, I gotta say, number one, from all that I have seen, and I'm not like a massive Helldivers player, I'm not a massive Helldivers fan. Like, I'm not one of these hardcores. Nothing wrong with it. I'm telling you my experience with it. It seems like this individual was like a very good person, like a rock star kind of. In the the community management community, this person was really good. And even from the stuff that I was seeing, like, it really seemed like this is kind of elite level. So I do feel bad because I think this was a person that was kind of one of the people, right? I do want to say, like, when I first saw this story, my first thought was, I kind of get it. But I don't want to come off like tone deaf to like the fact that this person was very good. This person, like, in a way, this person spoke for the fans, right? Like, when people were frustrated, this person was saying, hey, it's okay to be frustrated. In fact, we kind of want you to be frustrated and to leave a mark of frustration so that maybe we can get this thing fixed. In a lot of ways, actually in every way, I respect that. I do understand, especially seeing, because again, this person wrote like a comment a few days ago where it's like, a publisher is not gonna like a community manager literally telling people to refund a game and to leave negative reviews. And to be honest, if you just think about that part, it is hard to say, like, I don't understand. Like, how could Sony be so stupid? You could say, you can say it, right? Where it's like, well, this guy seemed like, again, he was one of the people, and people really liked him as a community manager. But on the other hand, it's like, well, yeah, what community manager does actually tell people refund again? I get what he was doing, but at the same time, it's almost like just a sacrifice. Like, this person put it all on the line, and honestly, this is kind of like almost a meme that people are, doing online right now, where it's like, thank you for your sacrifice. And like, non-jokingly, that's kind of what it was. I imagine this person knew, if I do this, there's like, it's a pretty good shot. There's no coming back from it. I hope other companies would give him a chance, right? Because again, you got to almost think, well, okay, what company is going to hire somebody as a community manager when they find out that that person has told people to leave bad scores and to refund a game? But that's without any context. You know what I mean? That is the plain fact of what he did. But there was, like, reasons why he did it. You know what I mean? I feel like that's where Sony, like, just doesn't care, didn't step over that line to say, well, we get why you were doing it. It's almost like that didn't exist. It's, okay, you told people these two things. That is unacceptable from a community manager. And in some ways, it is unacceptable. But again, like, I think he kind of needed to do that almost, I think, for just a lot of respect purposes. And I respect that. I really respect that decision. And again, it's almost like that was a sacrifice. He sacrificed himself. He literally sacrificed his job so that hopefully the negative feedback, let's say, I guess reviews and refunding is feedback, right? That those things would continue and get worse. and then eventually they'd fix the problem. And that did work. It did happen. So you can't blame the guy all that much. All right, number 2, and these two are actually a little bit more positive, so thank God we don't have to be all depressing. Number 2 is Multiverses is adding Joker, and it's Mark Hamill. Extremely exciting. There was a little, maybe like 40, 50-second teaser today. For those that don't know, because I know they've really only promoted this on Twitter, Multiverses comes out at the end of this month. I think it's May 28th. Don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure, and I just don't feel like looking it up right now. But Multiverses does come out fully as, like, the official version at the end of this month. And, they've been doing a pretty good job on Twitter I was to say supporting it. I mean, like, talking about it, but really nowhere else. So I wouldn't be shocked if people don't know. But you know what? This is kind of a big deal, right? Like, we know the Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill connection. Mark Hamill has said, like, that he's done. He's not doing Joker unless, there's a Kevin kind of appearance to it. And obviously that's getting harder and harder. And, in terms of how many projects are left where these two are together, it's very few. So it is really, really cool to hear his voice in this teaser trailer. And I look forward to it. Like, I liked Multiverses the first time around. And I think their strategy was really, honestly, kind of terrible. Like, I get the early access thing and then kind of pulling it, but I don't get doing it for like over a year. I feel like the game has been gone. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like Multiverses has been gone for roughly a year, and I feel like that is way too much time where people have kind of just either moved on or forgotten it. Like, I've forgotten about it multiple times, so, and I live here. I live on the internet. So, I don't know if that was a good idea, but I do think the game was actually quite good. I think there's no reason to believe that the game's going to be bad. So, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to playing as the Joker, and it's great to see Mark Hamill back. Not one more time, because we do have that animated thing, I believe, at the end of the year, right? But second to last time. And then the final story, another feel-good story, is a game that I really am happy this is happening to, by the way. Dead Island 2. Dead Island 2 has surpassed 7 million players, as Dan Buster teases more to come, again, from PlayStation Universe. And pretty much it just goes into saying, number 1, they celebrated their 1-year anniversary. Number 2, they have well over 7 million people have played this game. And then thirdly, they're going to be, continuing to add to it. It's a feel-good story, and it's something I want to pat myself on the back. Actually, I want to say a couple things. I did not like Dead Island 1. I've never liked Dead Island as a franchise. I always preferred Dying Light. I played Dead Island. That first trailer, of course, got everybody hyped, got me hyped. It was the biggest scam maybe of our lifetime in terms of the trailer just doesn't reflect the game in any way. But you know what? Good marketing. Honestly, good marketing. But I was never a fan. But why am I patting myself on the back? I kind of saw this coming. This was a game that was in development hell for sure, but it eventually found a home, and these guys crushed it. They did such a good job. And leading up, like the last maybe 6 to 8 months before Dead Island 2 came out, I was singing its praises, saying, hey, I think this game's going to be good. The game came out. I believe I got a review code for it, and I had a blast. I think this game is really, really good. I think it's much better. I really didn't connect to Dying Light 2. I like Dying Light 1. I just, for whatever reason, 2 just didn't click with me. I love Dead Island 2 way more. In fact, Dead Island 2 is my favorite of the dead, dying, of the zombie games. To me, it's the best one. So I'm really, really happy this has happened. And 7 million, that is nothing to shrug off. A lot of games struggle to even get to like 5 million. So for a game that was honestly written off for years, and rightfully so, there was no reason to give this game the time of day in your head to think positively about it. The game was a dumpster fire of jumping around studios. So finally it comes out, and it does this. That's really impressive. And honestly, they deserve a ton of praise. And I hope they make a Dead Island 3. I imagine they will. And that should be exciting because I think they did a great job with Dead Island 2. So let me know what you guys think of any of these stories. Make sure, as always, to subscribe to the channel. Bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.